now on green belt with a brown stripe. We did a lot of advanced techniques before with our tiger techniques. Now green belt with a brown stripe is a lot of leopard. It's a lot of in-close movement. You're going to learn leopard strike. You do lots of elbows. Let's have fun. We're going to get right into it with our green belt with the brown stripe material.
Okay, we have one stance at this rank actually. It's called the closed kneel stance. Okay, and what we're going to do in this stance is think of striking down, but instead of driving my knee and hitting it to the floor or keeping myself flat-footed and just bending into it, I'm actually going to turn my foot over so I get a little more extension on the punch. And also, if someone were laying there, I could be dropping a knee strike into the body, but not into the ground at the same time. So, for example, if we're facing this direction right now and I wanted to punch down, you can see I can't reach here. I don't want to bend my back. I don't want to get into that horse stance, so I turn everything over to get to my closed kneel stance. Now, from this position, my right foot right now, I'm on the ball of my foot, my knee is not on the floor, and my leg is at a perpendicular position to the floor right from here. Right? So we do that one more time, we go a little bit slower. Think of just turning and dropping down. Best way to explain it is like you're kneeling down to pick something over, but you're not going to sacrifice your back as you do it. So ready? A great way to do this also is grab a pillow, put it right in front of you, and believe it or not, drop that knee down. Do that several times, and then what I want you to do, believe it or not, is keep the pillow there just in case you make a mistake, but drop the knee without hitting the pillow next. So you're going to turn and drop and hold yourself down. Then do it with a few punches, keeping your back straight and driving that punch straight down. And that is our closed kneel strike stance for a green belt with a brown stripe. Okay, when talking about our trapping techniques, it's really a continuation of your blocking techniques. All right, so as a strike comes in, you want to make sure you're safe, but instead of just knocking it away, you want to actually hold on to that arm or that leg if someone were throwing a kick, so we can then use it against the person or to take them off balance. And actually, when we get to combination 16, which you're going to get at this rank, the first movement is going to be a trap, where you're going to be gaining control of your opponent. So let's go over that actual trap first. So, Sensei Tom is going to be punching in. What I want you to think of doing is doing open hand blocks, 3 and 4 blocks at the same time, but what you can do is one hand's going to go in front of the other. All right, so when Sensei Tom starts to punch in, my 3 and 4 blocks come in. My right hand is going to catch by the wrist. The left hand is going to grab right by the elbow. That's going to straighten out his arm a little bit, and it's going to control it. Now, if you did it hard enough, you could damage someone's elbow, so you got to be kind of careful. So when he comes in, I'm going to close in a little bit. Think of clapping. Ready? So he comes in, punch to me, please. Bam, and there's my trap. Now, do I have to hit with the palm of my hand? No. Think of everything closing in. I don't care if you catch with your forearms. I don't care if you catch with the palms of your hand. Just let everything close in. Don't keep them together. If Sensei Tom is punching in and I clap them together, I'm not going to have too much control. I can get knocked off balance. Really, I didn't do anything to him right now. If I get one hand in front, I can now control that arm a little better, especially if I move. And as you get more comfortable with it, you might even find that one of those hands might be turning to a strike at the same time. So when he comes in, I might actually hit him in the face at the same time. And there's a simple trap. There are several other traps you'll be getting into at later techniques, but what I would like you to do is really focus on that one. There's one other one let's touch on real quick, which is going to be let's do it off an overhead strike, because we've touched on it in a few other DVDs, so we might as well talk about it now. Overhead strike comes in. Start with a simple X block, and then you're going to let your hands kind of collapse in, fold in, and turn yourself over right from here. And you're really putting yourself right in position to put your partner or your opponent into an arm bar. Okay, but again, start with the block first. He comes in, I give myself an X block right from here. My hands start to collapse or turn in, and I'm going to roll myself over right from here. And as you get into this position, I can hold him, I can go to the arm bar, I might actually let go and turn and come in with a chop and follow up with a knee to the face. You can really play around with that a little bit. All right, so our 2 traps again. The first one, we'll call it the clapping one if you would like, your hands clapping together almost, which you'll see in combination 16, or the overhead, starting with the X block and then pulling the arm into the side, and then you'll be able to follow up with a few other techniques right from there. Okay, that's trapping that we're getting started with at green with a brown stripe.
Hand strikes for green belt with brown stripe. Let's get right into it. Brad's going to do a fighting stance. Our first hand strike that we're going to do is called a leopard paw. We're going to open up our hand nice and wide, and we're going to close our fingers halfway. Instead of hitting with the palm, we're going to turn our hand straight down. So if Brad was to throw a punch at me, it fits better if I was going to hit the eyes, or if I was going to hit the throat. Okay? I can even turn this strike upside down and hit into the ribs. It really pinpoints on the strike. So Brad throws a punch at me again, I can block, send my leopard paw into the throat, or I can even turn it upside down and hit underneath to the throat. Okay? That is our leopard paw. And one thing you can look at is if you close your fingers halfway and you look down, it almost looks like a cat's paw. Okay? That's where it got its name, leopard paw. Our next strike is our trigger finger. What I want you to do is I want you to open up your hand nice and wide, and I want you to bend your fingers in, except for your pointer and your thumb. Now take your pointer finger and bend that halfway. Take your thumb and brace the bottom of your pointer finger with that, okay? So set, maybe we'll zoom in on that, Greg. Set. So ready, set, we have our finger pointed. I'm going to bend my finger and I'm going to brace it with my thumb to make that front nice and strong, okay? And get the name trigger finger. It looks like I'm pulling a trigger on a gun, okay? So I'm going to brace that nice and strong. So now if Brad punches in, also pinpointing, it fits better. Blocking, hitting to the temple, okay? I can hit to the throat with that, maybe down to the chest. I can even use that to strike maybe the brachial artery underneath the arm. Brad comes in and hitting with that trigger finger, really pinpointing my strikes. Those are our two strikes for green belt with a brown stripe. We have our leopard paw and we have our trigger finger. Okay, kicking techniques for green belt with the brown stripe. Let's get a good fighting stance, Brad. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to throw a spinning hook kick. That's our first kick. Now what Brad's going to do is Brad's going to set me up maybe with a left jab, left hook. Wham, he's going to distract me and I throw a left hook. And as he throws that left hook, he's going to bring that hand around and he's going to bring his right leg up and he's going to hook to my face with his heel. Okay? Let's see that again. So right through with that combination. One, and then boom, bringing that hook across. Now, if he hits me in the head, just put it right on my hand. As he hits me, he's going to hook his foot in. And again, a beautiful thing about a hook kick is hook kicks are like a great sneaky kick. If me and Brad are sparring with each other, he can block a side kick or he can block a ball kick, pushing through. But a hook kick comes up and he can hit to the side of the face. So if he throws a punch at me now, maybe I can block it and then just spin right through with my spinning hook kick coming through. Now, hook kick is a very, very powerful kick. Another kick that's very common to that, also done at green belt, is our spinning reverse crescent kick. Okay? Now, we know how to do a regular reverse crescent. Brad, just bring that foot nice and up, nice and high. He's circling it around. So now he's going to do a spinning reverse crescent. His same way, he can give me a little distraction. His heel is going to turn towards me, and he's just going to turn and throw that spinning reverse crescent. Let's do that towards the camera. So right from here, as I'm throwing my spinning reverse crescent kick, my heel is going to turn in like I'm throwing my spinning back kick. My knee is going to come up and I'm going to circle myself around. So now when I come and I'm coming to hit my strike, I'm just going to extend my leg out and snap it around. Okay, so let's both do spinning reverse crescent. Set and go. Around one more. Set and go. Excellent. Our last kick for green belt is a heel kick. Looks like a front ball kick. All we're doing is we're changing the position of our foot. If me and Brad are in a fighting stance, Brad's going to bring his leg up into a chamber. He's going to extend his foot. Instead of hitting with the ball, he's going to hit me with the heel. It's a great kick. He's going to drive me back right into my solar plex. So if I'm coming into him, I'm in fighting distance set, and I come in, boom, he just drives me back with that heel kick. Okay? A beautiful place that you can also go with the heel kick is right to the kneecap. As he drives it forward, bam, it'll snap my knee right back. Our three kicks for green belt with brown stripe are the spinning hook kick, the spinning reverse crescent kick, and the forward heel kick. All right, let's talk about our Kempo techniques now. The two Kempo techniques that we have for green belt with the brown stripe are our dropping elbow Kempo and our swinging hammer. Since everyone's getting a fighting stance. Okay, our first technique that we're going to do for dropping elbow is going to be a wing block, or that hello block. We're going to take a little baby step out with our left foot, and we're going to do a chop block out to the side. Okay? As that happens, my hand is going to ride up his arm like a 19 combination, and I'm going to do like a palm to the back of his head. As that's happening, my roundhouse elbow is going to drill him in the temple. My body's just going to turn through. I'm going to drill a roundhouse elbow right in the temple. I'm actually going to hit my hand. I want to make like a pancake between my hand and my elbow. So Sensei Ryan throws a punch at me. I'm blocking. I'm placing my hand on his head, but I'm doing it rather hard. So I'm kind of, it's a like placing strike as I hit in. Good, right there. I hit into his throat. Whoa, I can hit into his temple. Okay. So right from here, we're going to block, lunge forward, roundhouse elbow to the face. Palm, boom, roundhouse elbow. Now I'm going to circular thrust to his body. My hips are going to unwind and hit through to the body with a thrust punch to his solar plex. As that happens, his body just got hit. That's going to drive his head down. Press down on the back of his neck, and then do a dropping elbow strike to the spine. One thing that's good about the dropping elbow kempo, or one thing that's very important, is that you should use your hips. Everything is with hips. If you had bells on your belt while you were doing this kempo, your hips should be swinging. It should be making lots of noise. Okay? So right from here, if I just did my kempo, just watch my hips as I do this kempo. I'm blocking, hits, just coming through. Just getting my hips and dropping my weight into every strike. So if I'm doing the whole kempo on Sensei Ryan, punch comes in, I'm going to wing block, palm, roundhouse elbow. Circle thrust punch to the body, pushing down on his head, dropping elbow right through the spinal cord. Let's do it from another angle. Set, wing block, roundhouse elbow. Circular thrust, dropping elbow to his spinal cord. Good. Let's go into our next kempo. It's going to be swinging hammer kempo. Now swinging hammer, like the block from 3 combination, we do a cross-body palm block, but let's pulse that hand. Really use that palm and push that hand out of the way. As I do that, I pretty much want to aim on Sensei Ryan's arm. I want to pretty much keep it between the wrist, maybe middle of the forearm to the elbow. I don't want to be too high because then my extension is going to be low for my next strike. I want to get nice and close to the elbow, pulsing that hand, and that's going to cause his body to turn. Okay? So Sensei Ryan throws his punch in. I'm going to pulse my block to the side. As I do that, I'm going to lunge forward with my left foot. And I'm going to do a circular technique, a temple shot. Okay? Back fist to the temple. As I knock his head back, his head body's going to lean over. I'm going to drop my weight down, reverse hammer to his rib, or to the floating rib, either to his regular ribs. If I really turn his body around, I can go right to that floating rib. Then I'm going to circle my hand around, and I'm going to give a circular hammer right to the groin. Okay? As Sensei Ryan punches in, I'm going to block, back 2 knuckle to the temple, hammer strike to the rib, circular hammer to the groin. A good drill that you can do just to get this circular motion is if Sensei Ryan throws a temple shot to me, I can block, and now I'm going to go to hit him in the temple. As I hit him in the temple, he's going to block. He's going to hit me. And we're just going to circle our hands around. And that's it. And that's that motion that I want as I do my swing and hammer kempo. So as Ryan punches in, I hit right in, coming through. Set from another angle. Punch comes in. Watch my circular over the top and hitting through. That's our swinging hammer kempo technique. Those are our kempo techniques for green belt to brown stripe. We have dropping elbow and swinging hammer. Start with our bow. We're going to step out into a horse stance, cross our hands, and sink down nice and deep, dropping our hands down into double blocks. Good. Left foot steps in, X block down, block with the left, front 2 knuckle punch with the right, step to that back corner. Same thing. Now go to the opposite corner, right block, left punch. Wrap. Boom, and block down in the crane stance. High block, poke to the throat, face, body, groin. Big turn, face that opposite wall. Hop into that crane stance. Block and poke. Face, body, groin. Trap the head. Crescent kick. Land down. Block down. Step back.
block, block poke, face, body, groin. Step back with the left, step up with the right, you punch. Step back with the right, step up with the left, you punch. And now step forward, you punch again. Grab, throw. Half moon back, block poke, 3 forward. 1, 2, 3. Left foot steps back, left foot steps out, and right foot steps in. Okay, we're going to step out, bow, step out into our horse stance, crossing the hands, dropping hands down into double blocks. Step back with the left, X block down, block and punch. Step back with the right, block down, block and punch. Feet together. Now we can either wrap our arms or put them on guard. Hopping into our crane, block down, hand over the head. Right block, left poke, 3 punches. Good, big turn. Block, block, poke, half moon forward, 3 punches. Really hit those stances. Grab the head, crescent kick, drop down, turn that, thrust punch down. Back into the crane, block, poke, 3 punches. Good, half back, right foot steps forward, you punch. Left foot, you punch. Whatever foot is forward, that's the hand that's on the bottom of your you punch. Grab, throw, half moon back. Remember, 1 back and 3 forward. Whatever leg is forward, that is the hand that is blocking. Step back with the left. Roll out those hands. Let those hands drop down to that block. And bow.
Okay, 3 combinations we get at this rank. As you get higher in the belts, you get a few more combinations. If you remember white to blue stripe, you got 2 combinations per rank. At green belt, you had 3. Green stripe is the same thing, 3 combinations. 11, 16, and 21. Let's get started with our combination number 11. All right, let's do it in the air first. Sensei Brad, we get on guard. As the punch comes in, I want you to draw back into a cat stance, and I want you to think of doing a palm block to the person's forearm. As you do that, that's going to bring the person's head down and into you a little bit. You're going to start to roll yourself back in and do that trigger finger to the side of the head or to the temple. Okay, let's just do that again first. Punch comes in, I step back, block, trigger finger strike right from there. My right hand now is going to slide down onto the person's arm so I know where it is. I don't want that hand to come back and hit me. My left hand comes up and it's going to do one of a few different things. I can either clip the person's head to knock it back, I can grab the head and pull it back, I can even rake the face back. Once I do that, it's going to straighten them out and pull them back. I come all to the back of the body, grab the ankle, and my right palm or forearm is going to push on my opponent's hip at the same time that I'm pulling the ankle and take them down. Okay, I know this is kind of confusing, so why don't we have Sensei Brad punch right in so we can kind of see what's happening. All right, punch comes in, I'm going to step back, block, trigger finger right to the temple. My right hand slides down. My left hand is going to hit his jaw, his face, knock him back a little bit. Comes all the way around to grab his ankle. As my right hand pushes into the hip, as you notice, he slides right down. I'm not done with him yet. This is kind of a long one. I step in with my right knee. Bam! I drop a knee strike right to his groin. Now, right from here, this part gets a little confusing. What I want you to do is wrap your right hand around the person's ankle so you can grab all the way around the heel. As you do that, you're going to stand yourself up and flip your opponent over. You're locking out his hip, his knee, and his ankle right from there. I step over his body. I'm not done with his ankle yet. I'm going to step back over and then pull. Now, I let go of his leg simply because I don't want to hurt him. In a real fighting situation, I would hold on to him. I would take my right hand, I'm going to drop down to that closed kneel stance and throw a thrust punch right to his kidney. Drop. My right hand, my right leg now comes up with a rising heel kick, and then I'm going to land with an axe kick to the opposite side of his body and step over. So you back him up, we'll do it from a different angle. So he starts to come in, block, strike, knock him back, take down, step in a knee, wrap around that ankle, flip him over, step over and pull, drop the punch down, kick, kick, and step right over. Be very careful on that combination. Thank you, sir. Combination 16. Earlier in the DVD, we were talking about trapping a little bit. In fact, we got into it in the green belt a little bit with your 10-point blocking as well. Combination 16 starts out the same way. Hands up on guard. Punch comes in. I'm going to start to do the same trap, trapping the person's arm, but now I'm going to take my right leg, and I want you to think of kicking a soccer ball. Okay, your right foot is going to come up and over, and you're going to kick your opponent's shin. So at the same time, you're trapping the arm, you're kicking his leg, and you're kind of disturbing his balance. So I'm going to block and kick. As I step back, I'm going to push him down into an arm bar. I come around with a left forward axe kick, hitting him in the shoulder, possibly clipping him in the head. I'm going to twist so I really mess up his elbow a little bit. Step over, move his head, and I'm going to strike right to the back of the spine. Ready? Actually, it's C7 for all the adults watching. So hands on guard. Ready? Punch comes in. I trap and kick. Take him down into an arm bar right from here. Here comes that left leg. Forward axe kick. Bam! Coming right over the shoulder. Very carefully now. I do a little bit of a twist. I want you to think about it more than doing it. A little bit of a twist. Let go of the arm and step over. Keep his head pushed down. Strike right to the back of the spine. One more time. Let's do it from a different angle. 16. Ready? Punch comes in. Trap. Take him down. Axe kick right from here. Twist. Push over. And strike to the back of the neck. Combination 16. Combination 21. Here we go. This is actually one of my favorite ones. I find this one great during no mind attacks. Punch comes in. Wing block or hello block or number 2 block, open hand. Give me a leopard strike or a leopard paw going right underneath the armpit area. Not exactly armpit, but a little bit off underneath the bicep actually. Once you strike, that's going to deaden the person's arm. Grab the wrist and you're going to step underneath the person's arm and then step back with your left leg. You're now going to be behind your opponent. You're also going to have his arm locked out. Snow leopard strike, hitting to the back of the elbow, damaging the elbow, and then ricochet off of his elbow, hit to the back of the head. Your left leg, there's 2 options on this kick. Left leg is I'm going to come around with a side kick to the back of the knee, dropping him down, and now while his head is still up, here's the right spinning hook kick coming around to his head. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. Sensei Brad punches in, and I'm going to block, and there's my leopard strike. I can either go right near the bicep area or right underneath his sternum. So I can go to either area. He comes in, block strike. Grab the arm, step underneath, and step back. You'll notice I'm behind him now. The second I straighten out that arm, forearm strike or snow leopard strike to his elbow, I'm going to ricochet off of his arm, bam, back of the head. Left leg, side kick his knee. My left leg kicks his knee down. Right from here, his head's in a beautiful spot. I come off of his knee, so I'm not going to hurt him or lose my balance. My right leg comes around and spinning hook kick to the back of the head. Let's try that again from a different angle. So he comes in, block, strike, underneath, strike, strike, kick to the back of the knee, bam, spinning hook kick. Right from there. Combination 11, 16, and 21. Please make sure you're paying attention to the instructors, especially on these combinations. They're dangerous and they're kind of involved. Good job, guys.
All right, let's get into our grabbing techniques. Now, it's just really much a review of what we already have. It's going to be no mind frontal grabs. Now, it could be if Tom grabs me in a front choke, and it's just what am I going to do to react from this? Maybe blocking and pinning his hand down, hitting to his throat, then going into a wrist lock and taking him down. Okay? It can be him maybe putting his hands on my shoulders, me blocking and kicking, maybe going to a dropping elbow kempo, right from green belt to brown stripe, this belt's techniques. It could even be him doing a lapel grab, grabbing my shirt, maybe pushing me back, maybe locking out the arm, putting into another wrist grab, kicking to the face. Okay? You're going to experiment with these. If you keep that concept, hit, escape, hit again, or even hit, trap and escape, and just have fun. Okay, have fun working with somebody. You can take somebody in your class, maybe a brother or somebody that you train with. If Sensei, if he grabs me, put this on. Just think to yourself, what can I do? I can hit to the groin. I can hit to the throat. I can chop down. Boom, I can hit to the temple. And now what am I going to do with this hand? Let's see. If I grab his hand over, I can go into my leaf hand, into my wrist grab. Set. If he grabs over, I can pull the hand in, maybe turn it into a gooseneck, and pull it into my body, then maybe into a headlock, and then take it down. Okay? Just a combination of different techniques that we're going to do with our front grab jujitsus. Okay, let's get into our weapon defense now for Green Belt with the Brown Stripe, and it's going to be poking knife defense. Sensei Ronnie is going to poke me with the knife nice and slow. Now, as this knife is coming in, Sensei Jason mentioned in our last one for Green Belt, is I never want to block the weapon. Also, I have to take very, very good care. I have to be very alert on what I'm blocking, a knife. It's not like a club. Once I've taken the momentum away from that club, it's not dangerous anymore. Knives are. If Ryan is to pull back, if I'm trapping, I'm getting cut maybe against my wrist. If I pull that hand into my center and I start working something, I just cut myself. So I want to keep that knife away. And the best way to do it is by stepping off to the side and keeping it away. Now what I do is I use the back of my hand and I almost swoop my hand underneath the knife. So if Ryan throws a poke in, I'm going to swoop my hand underneath. So now I know where the knife is. Now my key thing is controlling it. My left hand is going to go on top, putting my thumb onto his pinky knuckle and twisting the hand in. As that happens, I put both hands on and I just back up and I take Sensei Ryan down. If I don't back up, I could also circle my left leg back, taking him off balance. Sending it on the hand on top, and now watch, I just swing my left leg back and that breaks his balance. Taking him down. Now I have control of the knife. Maybe putting the hand on the ground, snapping the wrist, maybe taking the knife and cutting his own throat. I just want to keep the knife away from my body. Other things that I could do to the knife is striking that arm. As he blocks that, I send the knife away, maybe striking the hand. So that maybe he'll lose the knife. If he doesn't, then I can go right into my wrist lock again. Key things to whenever doing any kind of a knife technique is making sure that we keep it away from our center. And whenever we're stepping back or whenever we're moving it, we're always moving it back into them. Once I have my hands on the knife, my hands never leave until I've taken him out, I've hit him with some strikes, maybe I took out his knee, I've hit him in the throat where he's not going to be coming back at me, or until his hand is free of the knife. Very important whenever we're dealing with any kind of weapon techniques. In position. Okay, our weapon form for Green Belt with the Brown Stripe is our Joe Staff practice set lefty. We did it righty at Green Belt, now we also have to do it lefty.